Easy come, easy go, that's just how you live. Oh, take it all, but you never give. Should've known you was trouble from the first kiss. Had your eyes wide open, why were they open? Gave you all I had, you tossed it in the trash. Tossed it in the trash, you did. It took give me all your love.
Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
So there's an explosion in Manchester, at the Manchester Arena. I'm glad I was sitting down when I heard that it may have been ISIS, or at least they were the ones taking the responsibility for it. And you know, I today I didn't want to write down my notes and because I think there's enough passion just to kind of articulate, my thoughts on it. But also, a lot of people, they'll tend to just respond to the certain news as it comes in. And, something like this, I think you don't want to be so passionate that you're overreacting, because then people are going to roll their eyes on the other side, because you always are kind of trying to convince people why you believe what you believe. And I think one way to do that is make sure your principles are long-standing. Almost like when it's science, it starts out as a theory, and then, you have, before it becomes law, you have to observe it, over a long period of time. So I guess 22 people died, and, we're just like, yeah, 22 people. And, if you were to list the names of 22 people, that's everything to those people that have died. And the thing of it is, it's not like these people died from cancer or, a long struggle or something that we have no control over. I mean, literally, it's a waste of a life. It's you talk about, being upset, at least you can make sense of, okay, somebody passed away early because there was a car accident or whatever. I mean, as bad as it is, you can still make sense of it. But when it was somebody's choice to end somebody's life, a healthy life, and not just a choice, an ignorant choice. And what I mean by ignorant is, and this is for, any extreme Islamic follower. Look, if you are right, and I'll say this to anybody, the evil loves the darkness. If you're right, you will come out in the light and tell it like it is and try to convince people. But you can't do that because you're not right. You have to grow up in an area that all you hear about is, okay, what you're doing is right. Talk to people, what you're doing is right. And anybody that agrees with you, you have to be over the top and dogmatic about it and shout them down, or lie and say, oh, well, you guys are just racist against Muslims. And I hear this all the time. Every time you watch, you're going to hear on the news, while the bodies are still warm, that, oh, let's not overreact, people, and let's not be hateful to Muslims and all these. It's like, okay, that's fine, that's great, but last time I checked, if we were going to go around and start bashing Muslims over the head, it would lead every news story. It would be the only thing that was talked about. But the fact that all you could do is interview somebody in their fear of, somebody left the Bible in front of my the mosque, and that gets written down as a terror incident, or vandalism or whatever. And the thing that I take away is, say, look, if it was a real problem that the Muslims are really worried about, what the Christians are going to do, or the people that are really affected by what the terrorists are doing, they're going to backlash against the Muslim. Last I checked, if I was going to move to Afghanistan, and I'm thinking, you know what, before I go there, or the Sudan, or any other wonderful Muslim country, before I go there, I'm not going to say, oh, by the way, as a Christian, I demand more rights. I don't like the way I'm treated. I could just see it in people's eyes. I hear it. You should hear some of the things that they tell me. No, because it really exists. There really is a threat against anybody that is from the West and not doesn't follow Islam. So therefore, guess what? You don't move there. You don't want to go there. You don't want to vacation there. So when people do, save their whole life just to come to America to escape whatever, tyranny they left, they come here, they set up camp here, have a nice job here, kids go to UCLA, and then they have the tenacity to go on, in front of a camera and say, you know what, I don't like the way I'm treated, while they're wearing the, the sarah or whatever, or burqa in some cases, but the point is, yeah, if you look for negative, you're going to have bad people. I get negative responses every day. I'm a white male Christian, and you could say I tend to lean towards conservative views, at least economically and even some socially, unless I don't think it works. But I get attacked probably more than anybody on the news, on TV shows, on just celestial radio, and it is what it is. You just roll your eyes because I'm like, well, this is still the best country. So if somebody's going to make an ignorant statement, that's a reflection on them, not me. So just hold your breath, wait for it, and you're going to hear it. How we have to be apologetic now to Muslims that are feel like that they're getting the stink eye from people and saying hurtful things. The guys that do that say that, they're ignorant. You could just, I think if you talk to those people and you make them feel stupid, that's punishment enough. Don't knots out. This is why the country's great. If somebody says, hey man, go back to Iraq, especially, I love it, especially if you're an Indian, just tell that person, say, hey, ignoramus, it's a different, we have different religions, different countries, different everything, and just for what it is, and you have to do that. You have to expose those people that are idiots. If somebody is stupid enough to say something to a Muslim, here in America, other than conversational, that person should be put in their place. But all I'm saying is, because that person is an idiot, what does Larry Elder always say? There's 8% of the people in the world believe that Elvis is still alive. So you cannot explain everybody's motivations. It's just the way it is. But and now the defenders of what happened will say, look, yeah, that's a small part of Islam is the ones that are doing this, working towards the caliphate, and so but there's the compliance rate is a lot higher than if you were to compare it to Christians that, let's say, bomb abortion clinics. We're talking about, if you were to poll Christians, what percentage would say, you know what, yes, we are going to announce disdain for this person, we think it's terrible, versus extreme Islam. When something happens, if you were to poll the majority of the Islamists that feel, okay, is that a bad thing? Is it okay? I've heard reports of about 50% say, well, yeah, I'm not for it, but hey, we are being oppressed, and it is, Muhammad did not like these things, and look at what America's doing. And then you hear that little bit of not a pass, but not a one of the best analogies when Corolla was saying it'd be like if Ku Klux Klan in the let's say right now they're in an area, and you have some guys in the neighborhood wearing the white hood and burning the cross, and them saying, oh, Larry, that's what he does, it's ridiculous, I don't know why he doesn't like black people. And that's all you need for something to exist, is no back pressure. When something's kind of not, kind of allowed, but really, yeah, we don't really like it, but it is what it is. That's all you need for something to thrive. And I think that's why the KKK is virtually non-existent. I mean, yeah, you have, I think, a few thousand, 2,000 or 3,000 members in all of the United States, and I think that is a good thing, that it's such a small amount compared to 300 plus million people. That means that there is a negative aspect, as far as people are concerned. They see something, they'll be like, hey, douchebag, this is 2017. We don't do that. You're an idiot. We're going to expose you. And I think that because of that, you only have, it'd be nice if there was zero, but then again, you're going to have the percentage that are just messed up looking for something. But what you don't want is for it to be excused. Say, oh, well, look at all the crime that the minorities did. So, because once you do that, then you just lost your ability to think and have a great country. When you allow ignorance to happen, because you're not even ignorant, you just like the cause, or you're not against it, so you give it a pass. So I think the difference with Muslims are it's the kind of the percentage of people that are kind of okay with it and let it slide, because even though it only takes a few people to ruin something or to do something bad, but those people usually have enablers around them. I mean, you look at the terrorist, the Saeed guy in San Bernardino. His family is, believe me, they were not wholeheartedly against it. I'm sure they smelled smoke in the air, and probably literally, and I'm sure they kind of turned a blind eye, and maybe in the evening they may have discussed some things that probably made him feel like, yeah, this is what I believe, and this is, I would believe it too. Of course, I would never do anything. Well, the person that is doing or will do something, is if he's in the same room, it's gonna get affected. But if you're constantly hearing how, hey, stupid, we moved to the West, and John Ashcroft said that if was it John Ashcroft that said if Islam doesn't fight a war against Islam, it can't get mad when the world fights a war against Islam. In other words, they need to police themselves, work things out. And like I say, the Western Muslims have worked it out. I think they're doing a good job in how they do things. They kind of assimilate, except for, I think there is a little bit of compliance. Otherwise, you would not see, the things that we see. I mean, CARE will come on and blame everybody